Some old suit, tennis shoes, cowboy hat, and sunglasses. People say that he is a strange man. They look down at the sidewalk when he passes and avoid him whenever they can. The lone stranger. The lone stranger. The lone stranger. He walks again. He rode around with a powerful engine in the badlands and wild southern towns. A puff of smoke and a pocket full of silver, but today he's just strolling downtown. The lone stranger. The lone stranger. The lone stranger. He walks again. Mystery clown, how do you live so lonely and so safe in this dark neighborhood? You live the life of a stranger. Your glory is to serve with the forces of good. The lone stranger. The lone stranger. The lone stranger. He walks again. He walks again. Yeah, I was just telling Alfred that sitting here on these sofas right now, like this, with the paintings all around, when he did his movie, The Gospel of Yes, they had a showing in the basement of the gallery, CBGB's gallery. They had a gallery next door, a coffee shop with a gallery underneath. So we were down on this. Their sofas weren't in as good a shape as these are. But it's odd because it was like a religious program in a bar where they showed this movie where there was a lot of quoting of the scriptures and stuff like that. You remember that, right? But this is the end of the long trip. And, Alfred always runs himself ragged. And, that was definite, waking him up, We're getting thrown out of places because Alfred would fall asleep at the tables and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. What was funny about that was, I can't remember his name, but the guy who was managing it.
Oh yeah.
So we had the show there, and I was somewhat inebriated, so I was craving a cigarette. So I snuck into So I snuck into the bathroom because the steps were like really steep going up, and I knew I was so drunk I was not going to make it up the steps. So it's like I snuck in the bathroom to smoke a cigarette, kind of like that old smoking in the boys, right? And this guy caught me, and he's like, "I'm gonna kick you out of here." I was like,
It's terrible.
"This is CBGB's, man. This is where Lou Reed and Jim Morrison shot heroin, and you're trying to kick me out for smoking a cigarette in a boys' room." So I was like, "You guys have lost something, man.
Yeah.
You've lost that revolutionary spirit or something."
I love it.
And then they shut down a couple of years later.
No, that's right.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Which was kind of predictable because they became so corporate in their thing, you know.
They had that T-shirt. They sold T-shirts out of there like crazy.
I
Like
know.
all day long, people come in there and buy
They,
T-shirts.
they have become so institutionalized that the spirit of CBGB's was all nostalgia. That's all it was nostalgia.
Well, yeah, and I think the punk movement being so elemental, you know, I mean,
Right.
it was sort of like a temple to punk, you know.
Right.
So that was good that way.
Yeah.
And, you know, I still believe that we need places like that, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But,
Right.
you know,
I think, yeah.
you know, there should be a church, you know.
All right. Okay.
All right, now
So
we
go
are
ahead.
in a church. Now Alfred's paintings are hanging in a church. I say now Alfred's paintings are actually hanging in a church. So this is good. So Stations of the Cross, these are a little different than back then in those days. I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but the palette's a little bit different. It's a little more expansive. It looks a little more relaxed. I like it. Looks good. Oh, it's this is now school is involved, you know, and before the school wasn't involved. So
Right.
a lot of knowledge, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
being imparted here. So.